running never did much good. Hiding doesn't last forever. You can't run faster when it's you you're running from. So you throw your hands up like doves to the setting sun. Somewhere down the stars are falling like jewels upon a thin black veil. You'll find the mysteries enthralling. 5 seconds seems like 5 billion years. 10,000 galaxies away, yet still so near.
Welcome to Karen Holton's podcast. Karen permanently lost 178 pounds and found happiness and success by following her own advice. She has now developed that advice into the quantum health transformation. Heal, evolve, and thrive. Karen's website offers a free webinar workshop series, and you'll also find tools, methods, and practices to assist you to become the change you want to see in the world. She believes that we are all connected. Heal the planet by healing yourself. Connect with Karen at her website, KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com, and through Facebook at Facebook.com/Quantum Health Transformation. Now for the podcast.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back to more Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0. Today, we're going to do step 6 yellow, total detoxification, part 2, internal detoxification. Step 6, part 2 is designed for those who wish to improve health and find a new level of physical well-being, as it provides a holistic internal detoxification program. You will discover knowledge and understand more about the toxic elements we encounter daily in the typical diet and ways that we may be inadvertently poisoning ourselves internally by consuming them. Discover easy methods to detoxify your internal body and some simple solutions to help you feel better fast. Be sure to also check out the corresponding video tutorial. And my students today are my favorite power couple, Don Rogers and Canadian Spinja, and also Ray. And be sure to check out their channel and their links, which are featured below. And to find out more about my work, all of the links are featured below in the description. Subscribe to my channels, leave me some comments, smash that like button, and share this video with your friends. Hi, guys. How you doing today?
Great. Thank you.
Good.
Good. So before I do the screen share, I'm just wondering if there's anything you would like to comment on from last week's lesson. Last week was external detoxification. For those of you who haven't watched it, go back and check it out. It's all about the ways that we accidentally poison ourselves through all kinds of things, from makeup to cleaning products to toothpaste. What you don't know will hurt you. And so you were mentioning before we came on the program, Spinja, that you're saving a lot of money by switching from commercial cleansers and cleaners just to salt and baking soda and vinegar, right?
Yes, yeah, and that's my takeaway, and I really hope that the people that are viewing or listening share this takeaway, is that there is a lot that's going on and a lot that does need to change. Yes, and it can feel overwhelming, but if you do it in baby steps, one tiny change will lead to something else. It's kind of like a snowball effect. And sometimes, we tend to get into the mindset that, oh, this is going to be expensive. This is out of our budget. This is way too much. And the example, like that you just shared, like with the baking soda, the vinegar and the salt, really you end up saving money, because like those are things that you generally have in your kitchen anyway, And if you can have them as cleaning products, then you also don't have to worry about stocking the ones with the harmful chemicals. You just have everything right there and within your budget.
Yeah, it's really ironic that the stuff that's not good for you is expensive as well, you know?
Yeah.
It's really ironic. The other thing I forgot to tell you guys last week was the Dr. Bronner soap, which is expensive if you decide to buy some. Where I have found it, the best price is from London Drugs. So those of you who are in Canada, London Drugs, and then they frequently put it on sale. So if it's not on sale when you go in there, maybe the next time you go in, it will. So it's quite a big difference. I would not buy it from a health food store or specialty stores. It's going to be, you know, almost double the price. So I just wanted to throw that out there. So yeah, so today we're going to do internal detoxification. And again, you know, the detoxification steps and the one about food, which is step 5, are the most difficult, I believe, the most difficult aspects of this program, because it requires a real shift in thinking, but also a shift in habits. And like Spinja said, we just want to take one small step at a time, and we'll get to it when we can. And it may take you years to really transition over to a more healthful lifestyle, but every step you do will be rewarded, absolutely. So yeah, I'll just get into the screen share here. So as usual, the beginning, this is all taken from one of the primers, and the primers are available from my website if you're interested in having your own copy. And this is the sort of an overview of the whole program here. So we're talking about the Quantum Health Transformation Program. It's a new health paradigm. It was written by myself, Karen Holton. And this is version 3.0, advanced training for healers and alternative health practitioners. Step 6, yellow, total detoxification. Part 2, internal detoxification. So I want to welcome everybody and let you know that this is the live recorded workshop. And both the primer and the live Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0 workshops will be presented in descending number order as published. You start with step 9 and you work your way down to do step 1 last. And there's, for those of you on the audio, there's an image on this page and it says, people are fed by the food industry, which pays no attention to health, and are treated by a health industry, which pays no attention to food. And that's a quote by Wendell Berry. Just quickly going to recap. All information presented in any Quantum Health Transformation media was received in the download and was channeled from the Living Library, also known as the Akashic Records. Further, this material was downstepped and developed through the filter of my own personal life experience. I'm not an expert, a mathematician, or a scientist. I'm a seeker of knowledge and wisdom. The Quantum Health Transformation Program is ideal for those who are awakening and for those who are experiencing ascension symptoms, but the content is beneficial for everyone who wishes to experience a better quality of life. This system of quantum health transformation works well for me. However, you must synthesize this information and take only that which serves you. At the very least, it is my hope that from this material, you will be stimulated to seek your own inner wisdom. And also, please note, any part of the Quantum Health Transformation Original, version 2.0 or version 3.0 series can be copied and shared for free under the Fair Use Clause, as long as credit is given to myself, Karen Holton. Thank you. And please help support my work by asking your clients and your customers to purchase PDF copies of this presentation from my from my website shop. You'll find it quite beneficial and it'll have all the links that are highlighted in blue that you will see today. And I'm just going to read this very quick disclaimer. This PDF and the information on our website, KarenHoltonHealthCoach.com, is presented as is for educational purposes only. It is not intended as a substitute for the diagnosis, treatment, or advice of a qualified licensed medical professional. The facts presented in this presentation or on the website are offered as information only, not medical advice, and in no way should anyone infer that we are practicing medicine. Seek the advice of a medical professional for proper application of this material to any specific situation. No statement here or on the website has been evaluated by the United States Food and Drug Administration, the FDA, the Canadian Food Inspection Agency, the CFIA, the Department of Health Canada, or any other regulatory authority. Any product mentioned or described in this presentation or website is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. We recommend that you do your own independent research before purchasing anything. So here we go. Now we're going to find out about some of the toxic elements that we're ingesting by accident or intentional. So again, there are 3 parts to step 6, total detoxification. Last time we covered part 1, external detoxification. If you haven't seen that video, I highly recommend you go back and watch it. There's a playlist on YouTube, and also you can find everything laid out in perfect order on my website also. And this program is offered for free. So today we're going to do internal detoxification. So each of the 3 parts are comprehensive and deserves its own primer. Preview all 3 primer videos for step 6. Part 2, internal detoxification. Now that you know how to stop poisoning yourself externally, it's time to stop poisoning yourself internally. Everything you put in your mouth is also absorbed into your physical system. Before introducing you to some healthful practices, I must warn you about the poisons you might be inadvertently ingesting. There's a cute little image on the front with a giant gummy bear and 3 guys in hazmat suits. And the one guy is saying, "Yep, it's poison, all right." And the other guy is saying, "Sorry, bear." And the bear looks kind of despondent. So again, if you apply chemicals to your body, you will become sick and very likely obese. And the same is true if you ingest processed foods and food derivatives. You could develop fat tissue in order to isolate and deal with the derivatives that are toxic to your body and mind. Your digestive system, hormones, health, and quality of life will deteriorate. So last time I mentioned it, I'll just mention it again, that it's not a simple system of calories in and calories out. It's not about that. If we're consuming toxic foods, our bodies are going to put on fat in order to store the toxic elements away and keep them away from your system so that you don't basically die. Real whole foods grow naturally and organically. Generally, it does not have a product label. However, once these foods have been processed, they are dead, and although they may carry some nutritional elements, they upset our delicate physiological balance. And more on this in Quantum Health Transformation Step 5 upcoming. Suffice to say, each piece of fruit, vegetable, nut, seed, pastured or grass-fed meat is a perfect prepackaged delivery system with the nutrients we need in order to enjoy health and sanity. Case in point, obesity research is done in a lab on fat mice. And since mice are not normally fat, the extra body weight is induced by feeding them food-like products which contain MSG. If you Google MSG obesity-induced mice, you can see the studies for yourself. Any synthetic additive used to preserve food and prolong shelf life is poisonous. And the same is true about chemicals which are derived from natural sources. This is why bugs and rodents won't eat it. That's why it has a 25-year shelf life, because nothing will touch it except for humans. Do some research, and I urge you to watch the movie called Hungry for Change. And again, if you download the PDF, you can link right into these recommended shows. And if you don't have the PDF, you might want to pause this video and write down the names of these different documentaries that I highly recommend. So don't just believe everything Karen says. Do your own research and find out for yourself. So Hungry for Change is kind of my go-to video because it exposes the shocking secrets the diet, weight loss, and food industry don't want you to know about, and the deceptive strategies designed to keep you coming back for more. And some other very informative documentaries are Food Matters, What's with Wheat, The Magic Pill, and That Sugar Film. So they're all available for free on social media. So just Google them and find the links, and you can find them. I highly recommend you make the time to watch all 5 of these videos. It will really open your eyes to what's going on with the food industry. Find out what's keeping you from having the body and the health you deserve, and how to escape the diet trap forever. My personal experience proves the information found in Hungry for Change is true. And by the way, I'm not paid to promote any of these shows. I'm just recommending them because they are so valuable. Food-like products cause illness and obesity because they contain sugar, a drug that affects the brain like cocaine and is highly addictive. Food-like products also contain harmful fats like hydrogenated fats and seed oils. And examples of these toxic oils are cottonseed, canola, corn, safflower, sunflower, and soy oils, and chemicals like MSG to keep you addicted so you keep buying the products over and over again. I don't know if you've ever seen the commercial where they used to have for Lay's potato chips, where the slogan was, bet you can't eat one, bet you can't eat one. And I don't know about you guys, but when I used to eat chips, one was too many and the whole bag was never enough. I could eat the whole damn bag. The recommended serving is for 5 chips. I don't know anyone who could just eat 5 chips.
No. Oh, I can still destroy a bag of dill pickle chips. I know it's horrible for me, but.
Well, it's because it's addictive, and you'll find out more about this as we go through it. So food-like products lack nutrition and cause cellular hunger. This leads to obesity and nutrient deficiency as people become overfed while starving to death at the same time. The obesity crisis is due to food-like products which contain chemicals that lie to us. Real foods, by contrast, boost the immune system, increase longevity, and are our natural way of eating. What we eat, drink, and think has a direct effect on our health. So why do we eat food-like products? Because they smell better, they taste better, and they have a longer shelf life. This combination maximizes the profit for the producer, but it causes a lack of energy, cognitive fog, anxiety, and illness for the consumer. To assess your level of addiction, try eating only unprocessed, real food for 1 week to see if you experience withdrawal symptoms. So I've already said on some previous workshop videos that I've had a lot of addictions to have to overcome. And the toughest one for me was getting off refined foods. It was a real monkey on my back, and the withdrawal process is not fun. You're going to find out more about it in this presentation, because it basically every time you eat them, you're triggering the same exact part of your brain that heroin and cocaine stimulate. And believe it or not, when mice are offered refined sugar and refined starches or cocaine, they prefer the sugar and the refined starches. They have to hit a little lever to get more, and they'll do that till they die. They'll just keep doing it and doing it. because it absolutely affects our brains. And most people don't even know this. So there's an image here for those who are listening on audio. It says public enemy number 1, sugar. Known aliases are fructose, lactose, sucrose, glucose, maltose, galactose, sugar alcohols like mannitol, xylitol, lactitol, isomalt, maltitol, and HSH. Warning, this one's a wily charmer. You won't know you're in too deep until it's too late. So how do food-like products cause addiction? They contain chemical derivatives and refined isolated elements like sugar and other refined products, which become chemicals of addiction once they're digested. Everything everything processed from frozen ice to peanut butter is engineered to become addictive in order to maximize profits. Chemical derivatives like MSG and free glutamates enhance the flavor in 80% of all processed foods. MSG and other chemical additives excite the brain and they trigger the body to produce fat. And it says here, click here and here to learn more. These are research studies that if you have the PDF, you can just click them and get into the research studies. The truth about sugar and sweeteners. Soda pop and sweets will chemically cause you to initially feel happy, but when the effect wears off, will leave you feeling empty because your body was expecting nutrients. So you eat another candy or piece of pie or drink a can of pop, and what initially satisfies soon needs repeating, and you are now being manipulated by a marketing ploy. When a beverage or food-like product contains the deadly combination of artificial sweetener and caffeine, it creates a very unique form of excitotoxin, which kills off brain cells, but gets them very excited first. You feel the effect of the brain excitement, but you're not aware of the brain cell death. Artificial sweetener is in almost everything processed that you consume, from frozen ice to meal replacement beverages. It is known to lead to cognitive problems, seizures, headaches, some cancers, weight gain, and carbohydrate cravings. These products are attractive because they are lower in calories, but this is a brilliant marketing ploy to keep you consuming. Food additives are engineered to addict you and for longer shelf life. The food companies realize that MSG, processed sugars, and artificial sweeteners are highly addictive. They learned this motto from the tobacco industry. If you addict a customer, you have product loyalty for life. Instead of nicotine, they're using MSG, refined sugars like high fructose corn syrup, and artificial sweeteners that make us want it again and again and again. Know the nature of the trap. Watch the documentary called Hungry for Change. So I've got an image here for those of you on audio. It says, sugar is the new cigarettes. Sugar increases insulin. Insulin increases fat storage, and it's addictive. 93% of lab rats chose sugar water over cocaine. The cocaine-like effects of refined sugar and flour, which are food-like substances, kill more people than all drugs on Earth combined. Science has produced over 75,000 synthetic chemicals since the 1940s. MSG is a flavor enhancer that is linked to a host of health issues. And again, if you have the PDF, you could just click on the link and go directly to the studies, including fibromyalgia, obesity, fatty liver, high insulin and blood sugar, high cholesterol, liver toxicity, metabolic syndrome, high blood pressure, disturbance to the gut-brain connection, neurological and brain damage. The danger lies in that MSG is almost impossible to avoid. Here are some of the names of ingredients that always contain processed free glutamic acid, or MSG. So you may be reading the labels, but you may not realize what they're saying by using these words. So I'll just quickly list them off. Glutamic acid, glutamate monosodium glutamate, monopotassium glutamate, calcium glutamate, monoammonium glutamate, magnesium glutamate, natrium glutamate, yeast extract, anything hydrolyzed, any hydrolyzed protein, calcium caseinate, sodium caseinate, yeast food, yeast nutrient, autolyzed yeast, gelatin, textured protein, soy protein concentrate, soy protein isolate, whey protein concentrate, whey protein isolate, anything protein, vetsin, and Ajinomoto. Not sure what that is, can barely pronounce it, but so that is what I wanted to say about food additives. Before I continue, do you folks have anything you want to add? Any questions? Are you surprised by any of this?
I just had a I feel sick moment because I went through a phase in my late 20s where I was basically what they phrase as a gym rat. I had like 2-a-day workouts and was deliberately ingesting a lot of what you just listed off. And that frightens me.
How did you feel? Did you have super good health at the time, or were you still having, some discomforts or headaches or anything like that?
Oh, I could work out like an animal, but I also felt horrible after. Like
Yeah,
you quite felt as well as you looked.
yeah. I used to do the whey protein and whey protein concentrates and things like
Yeah.
that. I was vegan for about 7 years. And oh man, it totally destroyed my health. I'm not against veganism if that's, the path people want to take. But I was using processed products as well as natural foods. And yeah.
Yeah.
So so that there's more about that in step 5, but I think you got the point. And I really recommend everybody watch those documentaries I suggested. Now we're going to move on to tap water. So before we start, a little trivia. You folks live south of me. I don't know if your water comes from the Red Deer River or not, but guess where all our waste material for, Red Deer's not the biggest city in Alberta, but it's about the 3rd largest. Guess where all our waste goes? Into the Red Deer River. And guess where all our water that when it comes out of the tap comes from?
The Red Deer River.
The Red Deer River, exactly. And I know for a fact they don't filter for pharmaceuticals. And a lot of people are on pharmaceuticals. So if you have a population of, I don't know, 100,000 people, how many of them are on pharmaceuticals? Well, pharmaceuticals, they do what they do within the body, and then they come out through your poo and your pee, and they go into the river. And then they're coming into the tap. So we're taking them on top of the pharmaceuticals we're taking, and people don't even know it. Not to mention all the other stuff, which I'll get into now. Pharmaceuticals, including antibiotics, hormones, mood stabilizers, and other drugs, are in our drinking water supplies, according to a media report. And again, the link here would take you to the report. I'm not reading the reports because we'd be here for hours, and this is, people have to take some responsibility for doing their own research as well. This just sort of points you in the direction, and then you can go off and do the research. Only reverse osmosis and nanofiltration have been proven to rid up to 99.99% of pharmaceuticals in drinking water. Many toxic pollutants commonly found in tap water are aluminum, lead, nitrates, chlorine, arsenic, herbicides, pesticides, chloramines, mercury, microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, perchlorate, pharmaceuticals, copper, fluoride, mercury, parasites, MTBE, PFAS, uranium, and there are more. Drinking bottled water isn't necessarily the solution because depending on how it is sourced and treated, bottled water may contain pharmaceuticals too. After all, a lot of bottled water comes out of the tap somewhere. This expert says, his name is Shetler. If it's treated with reverse osmosis, it's likely to be cleaner. I personally prefer ozone-treated spring water because it's pure and still contains all the naturally occurring minerals that my body benefits from. So really, we have two choices, and that is, drinking water that's been treated with reverse osmosis. In a lot of the different grocery stores, you can refill bottles of their purified water is done through reverse osmosis. And but you can also use spring water, and spring water comes from pristine areas where the water bubbles forth up from the earth. It's never been touched by human contaminants. And then they usually treat it with ozone, which is just oxygen, to make sure there's no bacteria or anything in it. And that's what I choose to use. My body responds better to it. So what a lot of people don't realize is a lot of bottled water is just coming out of the tap someplace. It's just got a fancy name, so you think it's good and you think it's pure. But I would recommend, looking for water that actually is either natural spring water or get yourself a water purifier, or find a grocery store where you can just refill bottles. I would not drink the tap water. And it's amazing, I run into people who just laugh at me for not using tap water, for buying water. And they go, "Oh, you're so stupid. Why would you buy water? It comes free right out of the tap." Well, first of all, it's not free. We pay for our water here in Red Deer, but also it comes from the Red Deer River. So just wondering if you folks have anything you want to add to that.
Yeah, we don't drink our tap water either. We're actually down in Bicycle, which is not up the Red Deer River. We do have a local water source, like we get town water, and it's so bad sometimes. Like, we boil it before we'll even feed it to the dogs because it smells like a public swimming pool.
Yeah.
Like, you can sense the chlorine in your eyes if you go to do a sink full of dishes.
Yeah.
Like, it's that chemical.
Well, we live in Alberta, and there's a lot of industry like mining and fracking and stuff like that. But there's also a lot of agricultural land, a lot of farmland. And the way they do farming now is to spray tons of chemicals, herbicides and pesticides. Well, what happens when the snow melts, or we get a lot of thunderstorms here when it rains? It washes all of that stuff down into the aquifers, into the rivers, and we're just getting it out of our tap. So, I know it's a pain to think about this, but I need to tell people about it because it absolutely could be affecting their health. And the big thing is we want to reduce the toxic load we're adding to our body. We are going to get into some practices that you can do to help detoxify, but in reality, the biggest thing is to stop toxifying ourselves in the first place. So now that you know how to stop poisoning yourself, let's go back to detoxification. Detoxifying is to remove harmful chemicals and substances from the body. Since our physical environment and our food supply has become toxic, I believe that detoxifying is a fundamental component to a healthy lifestyle, and not just something we do once in a while. So you probably know people who, every spring they drink some dandelion tea, or they do a detox and, for a month, and then they go, okay, now my body's cleaned out. And then they go back to the same practices that got them toxic in the first place. Better to reduce your toxic load overall. And face the hard facts about what's going on with our food supply. It's not fun to do that kind of research, and it's disturbing, but it needs to be done. Just like shadow work, it needs to be done. Well, unless you want to become a really good customer for the medical industry and the pharmaceutical industry, and in which case you haven't been paying attention to these lessons. But not everybody is gonna take to this information, because it's hard. It requires effort. So detoxification not only rids the body of harmful substances, it also improves the function of the liver, kidneys, intestinal tract, and skin, all the elimination organs. It is an essential daily practice for people who are under stress, feel tired all the time, have low immunity to illness, allergies, headaches, dry, itchy skin, increased mucus production, and poor concentration. I wonder how much of what we consider to be the signs of aging is actually caused by a lifetime buildup of toxins. Detoxification could easily become part of everyone's healthy lifestyle. So I go out walking a couple times a week with another older lady, and as we're walking, we're talking about other old people that are around our age or a little bit older. And some of them can barely make it from the car into the house. They're just all crippled up. And it's because nobody told them. It could be what's in their water. It could be what's in their cleaning products. It could be, but chances are it's like death by 1,000 cuts. It's when you put together, 100 different elements from different things, and they all add up together. Ray, do you have something you want to add?
Yeah. Sorry, I just, as you were listing off some of the things, some of those things can also be signs of depression and whatnot. So I'm just wondering if there's a connection between those as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. People don't realize it. So they've got a toxic lifestyle. They don't know that it's toxic. Like, for instance, last week I was talking about SLS and how it gave me such terrible headaches. I was going to the doctor getting narcotic pain medicine, which caused a whole nother host of problems, not to mention the fact you never can poop when you're on narcotic drugs, and that causes more problems. And I didn't realize it was the shampoo I was using. So the same goes for mental anxiety, depression, a lot of these things that people go and they get pharmaceuticals, antidepressants, anti-anxiety, sleep medication, and they're just adding, basically, it's like trying to put out the fire with gasoline, literally. And you made a good point, Dawn, last week about, you saw on Batman, was it Batman, the Joker said? Can you tell the folks again what he said in that show?
Basically, it was the Tim Burton Batman from the 80s. Joker comes up with this chemical combination called Smilex that if you combine this soap with this lipstick and this toothpaste, it'll kill you, right? Like on the spot. All the Joker did was tweak some of the chemicals and made everything that we touch toxic, which it pretty much is anyway. Basically, anything petroleum based, it was like Russian roulette.
Yep, absolutely. Really, really good analogy. And, I don't care what names people call me, but I'm going to say I've done the research. I've been down the rabbit holes. When you get far enough in your awakening process, you realize there really is a war against humanity. And there really is an effort just to get us to make and give up our resources. And usually that's in the form of money. And where's it all going? It's going to those who certainly don't need it. So, and I'm not going to get on too much about that, but yeah. And then the other thing too is because you need to get some from here and some from there, they have what you could call plausible deniability, where they can say, oh no, we've tested this. This isn't hurting people's health. But maybe it's when you combine the toast with the peanut butter and the jam that you get the toxic combination, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Hi guys, break time for a short message. YouTube will not monetize me, so if you enjoy my content and want to support my efforts, Help me to cover my expenses by visiting my shop to buy yourself a beautiful orgone generator. Zendome's Orgonite are my unique brand, and they are ethically sourced, handmade, and double charged for maximum effect. They are only available through my website, www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. Many people are finding comfort with Zendome's orgone generators, commonly called Orgonite. They are a simple compound which balance ambient energy by converting negative energy and EMF into positive healing energy with many easily confirmed health benefits. They are a simple compound with alchemic and energetic properties. These devices function as self-driven, continuously operating, highly efficient, negative to positive energy transmutation factories. They help diminish the harmful effects of electromagnetic frequency radiation by attracting and converting negative energies, retuning them into new and more healthful sound and light wave patterns. And they help to purify the atmosphere and accelerate plant growth. They also help stimulate positive mood and are a natural remedy for poor sleep patterns. When Orgonite is within range of any corded or wireless electronic device, it will efficiently and continuously transform that energy into orgone as it is being transmitted. This essentially creates orgone energy transmitters out of any and all emitters of harmful negative energy. You can use these devices for focusing the mind, healing, meditation, and for spiritual growth. Zendome's Orgonite are my unique brand of orgone generators, and they are only available through my website. Don't be fooled by imitations. Check out my website to see my latest selection at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. That's KarenHolton healthcoach.com. Check them out today. Now, let's get back to the show. So let's face it, we live in a toxic world. Every day we are inundated with harmful chemicals in our diet, lifestyle, the environment around us, as well as our own metabolism and the pharmaceutical medications that we take. Nobody talks about the effect of pharmaceuticals. Did you know that the third largest cause of death in the United States is from medical, intervention, pharmaceuticals, surgeries, things like that? The third leading cause of death is from listening to your doctor. So I'm not telling you not to listen to your doctor. I'm just stating information. You can do with it what you want. People consume food additives, colorings, flavorings, preservatives, waxes, and agrochemicals like fertilizers, growth enhancers, pesticide, and herbicide residues. According to the US EPA, 60% of all herbicides, 30% of all insecticides, and 90% of all fungicides cause cancer. Over 10,000 artificial chemicals are added to preserve food and give it a longer shelf life. People are also exposed to atmospheric pollutants like chlorofluorocarbons, acid rain, industrial gases, exhaust fumes, and toxic metals like lead, aluminum, cadmium, and mercury. Detoxification is essential because it allows the body to naturally neutralize toxins and prepare them for elimination from the body through the liver, kidneys, bowels, lungs, and sweat glands. Although fasting has traditionally been part of detoxification, I do not recommend this or any quick, intense detoxification program. After a lifetime of toxic accumulation, one could become very ill-feeling if we try to flush the system too quickly. And I don't know about you guys, but I hate suffering. So if I do, some detoxification that's releasing chemicals into my body and I feel sick, the first thing I do is I shut down the detoxification, not realizing that I just need a slower approach to it because those chemicals got to go. That's what's making me feel sick. All the toxic waste must be coaxed out of the tissues and circulate to the detoxifying organs before removal from the body. When a daily detoxification regime is incorporated into a lifestyle permanently, the cleansing is less severe and is continuous, allowing us to adjust and cope with any negative side effects. You may also wish to consider intermittent fasting by eating only once or twice a day within a 6-hour window of time. Now, in the beginning, of course, the first thing you do is stop toxifying yourself. Take baby steps to do that. But now I'm going to introduce you to a pretty good detox program. And some of this costs money. So, I don't expect everyone to have the budget to run out and buy all these products. You may just want to start with 1 or 2 practices, and then slowly, if you can, add other practices to your daily habit or lifestyle. So the first thing that I recommend is in the morning, drink a liter or more of filtered water or spring water. If you add fruit to the water, this increases the detoxifying effect and helps to alkalize your body. And there'll be more on pH and alkalizing your body in step 5. I suggest you consume some or all of the following foods, which will give you a good start to your detox program with a minimum of discomfort. So, like I said, I don't expect people to run out and buy all this stuff, but if you can, you may want to even just take it for a week and see how you feel and get, do sort of an intermittent detoxification program if you can. To pull toxins out of the body, start every day with sea vegetables, commonly called seaweeds. And if you don't find seaweed in the natural state appealing, buy it dried and ground into a powder. You can also sometimes find it pressed into tablets. Add a heaping tablespoon of whichever ground type you can find, kelp, dulse, bladderwrack, or Irish moss, to about 1 cup of filtered water. Stir and let it sit for about 15 minutes so it gels slightly and is no longer gritty. And as you drink it, you'll find that it has a very mild flavor. Now, a lot of people buy those sushi seaweed sheets. They're really crispy and they're fried in oil, but I don't recommend them. They're not suitable as they have been cooked in seed oils and they've lost most of their nutrients, which basically defeats the purpose of eating them. See, any food can basically be turned into a junk food just by over-processing it, and especially in the seed oils. Seaweeds contain iodine, which controls metabolism, alginate, which absorbs radioactive elements, heavy metals, and free radicals, fusoidin, which causes certain types of rapid-growing cancer cells to self-destruct, and are polysaccharides, which prevent and treat cardiovascular diseases. They also boost the immune system, help to decrease high blood sugar and cholesterol levels, improve the function of the gastrointestinal tract, and improve your hair and your nails. And I've got a source here, and again, I'm not paid to promote these. They're just offered in case you need a place to order and you can't find some of these things I recommend locally. And I'm recommending Harmonic Arts Botanical Dispensary. After you take the seaweed, stir 1 teaspoon each of spirulina and chlorella powder into a full glass of filtered water. Let it sit for about 15 minutes, stir it again and drink. And you'll find that it also has a very mild flavor. And as mentioned, I have provided my trusted source for sea vegetables, chlorella, and spirulina, but I am in no way paid for promoting them. This is an excellent source in case you want to order online. And I've got a link here in case you want to read some research for yourself about spirulina and chlorella. But I will give you a little overview in case you're not familiar with these products. Chlorella. Chlorella is a green unicellular freshwater algae, which is rich in protein, vitamins, including vitamin B12, minerals, especially iron, amino and nucleic acids. Chlorella algae have a high chlorophyll content that helps cleanse your blood and your tissue, making it particularly useful for detoxification. Chlorella also contains an extremely strong concentration of alpha, beta, and gamma PPARs. Stands for peroxisome proliferator activated receptors, which are known to regulate our metabolism, strengthen our immune system, and promote general all-round good health. The large quantities of DNA and RNA nucleic acids found in chlorella can actively help delay our body's aging process. Chlorella can be purchased in either tablet or powder form, and the powder can be stirred into all your favorite smoothies and green juices to provide a powerful boost of nutrients. Spirulina. Spirulina is a blue-green unicellular freshwater algae packed with fiber, protein, vitamins, including vitamins A, B1, B2, B6, and K, essential minerals, including iron, calcium, and magnesium, trace minerals, essential fatty acids, nucleic acids, both RNA and DNA, polysaccharides, and antioxidants. The Aztecs reputedly supplied spirulina to their warriors to increase strength and endurance, and it is perhaps best known for its potent immune-boosting properties. Spirulina also contains ingredients that help combat free radicals and prevent our cells from aging. Beta-carotene, vitamin E, gamma-linoleic acid, or GLA, and superoxide dismutase, also known as SOD. It's low in calories and a complete source of protein. Spirulina has recently been linked to demonstrable weight loss. And both spirulina and chlorella can be bought in tablet form if you prefer not to, mix it with water and drink it as a powder. Chlorella and spirulina are both unicellular freshwater algae, but here are some key differences. Chlorella is a green algae, which means that it typically boasts around 10 times more chlorophyll than spirulina and makes it better for detoxification purposes. Chlorella contains more iron than spirulina. Chlorella contains a special growth factor, which can help repair damage to nerve tissue and is ideal for those with degenerative brain and nerve disorders. Chlorella features a true nucleus, unlike spirulina. Spirulina is a blue-green algae that is thousands of years older than chlorella. Spirulina contains more protein than chlorella. On average, spirulina contains 12 times more protein than beef. Spirulina is a better source of GLA, gamma-linoleic acid, a good fat that is essential for healthy brain and heart function. Spirulina contains higher concentrations of phycocyanin, a phytochemical that can help prevent cancer and give spirulina its special blue tint. So we've already talked about drinking water, taking seaweeds, spirulina and chlorella. You may want to try one or two of those or all of them, depending on what your budget can allow. Did you have anything you wanted to add, Don?
No, I'm just taking this all in, just the protein content. And it's funny, I meant to mention it earlier, but you were saying about the grass-fed beef. I actually have some good news on the beef end of my situation. We came across some grass-fed beef kebabs that were made yesterday, and I actually ingested them without a stomach problem. So,
wonderful, wonderful. So it may have just been the brand or the type of beef you were using, and sometimes, you use grass-fed for a while. It is more expensive, but then you can go back to the other brands like Costco or whatever you can afford. You can only do your best. This is an ideal an ideal recommendation, but you know, it takes time for people to build up to it. So now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with chia seeds. You probably heard of chia pets. You buy them at Christmas time and you spread them on a clay form and it sprouts hair-like sprouts. But that's really not your best use of chia seeds. So later in the day, you may wish to consume 2 tablespoons of chia seeds in a liquid medium. So to create a delicious pudding, add them to 12 ounces of chocolate milk and stir while they plump out. Then let them sit for at least an hour to become completely soft before you eat it. Chia seeds have no flavor on their own, but they take on the flavor of whatever you add them to. You can add them to crushed fruit or freshly squeezed juice or any other tasty liquid medium. So they're just these little tiny rock hard seeds, and then you put them in a liquid medium and they form a gel and they get very, very soft. These tiny superfood seeds are a great source of healthy omega-3 fats and fiber, and it's very easy to add to your diet. Just add 2 tablespoons to a glass of juice, milk, or fruit smoothie. Stir regularly and allow it time to thicken before eating. The positive health effects from eating chia seeds include more energy, stable blood sugar, comfortable digestion, and lower cholesterol. Also, they will give you the most amazing, easy bowel movements with no messy cleanup. Yeah, I'm not kidding. They're quite miraculous in that department. So chia seeds really help to capture toxins and expel them through the colon. That would be my number 1 reason for eating them. But there are 10 reasons to add chia seeds to your diet. One is to combat diabetes. Chia is being studied as a potential natural treatment for type 2 diabetes because of its ability to slow down digestion. The gelatinous coating chia seeds develop when exposed to liquids can also prevent blood sugar spikes. Fiber. A 1 ounce or 28 gram serving of chia has 11 grams of dietary fiber, about 1/3 of the recommended daily intake for adults. Adding some chia to your diet is an easy way to make sure you're getting a good amount of fiber, which is important for digestive health. Omega-3. Chia seeds are packed with omega-3 fatty acids with nearly 5 grams in a 1 ounce serving. These fats are important for brain health. Teeth and bones. A serving of chia seeds has 18% of the recommended daily intake for calcium, which puts you well on your way to maintaining bone and oral health and preventing osteoporosis. Manganese. Manganese is good for your bones and helps your body to use other essential nutrients like biotin and thiamine. 28 grams has 30% of your recommended intake of manganese. Phosphorus. Chia seeds also help you maintain healthy bones and teeth. Phosphorus is also used by the body to synthesize protein for cell and tissue growth and repair. Protein. Chia seeds also make a great source of protein and don't have any cholesterol. 128 gram serving of these super seeds has 4.4 grams of protein. Fight belly fat. Chia's stabilizing effect on blood sugar also fights insulin resistance, which can be tied to an increase in belly fat. Get full faster. Tryptophan, an amino acid found in turkey, is also found in chia seeds. While tryptophan is responsible for that strong urge to nap after a big Thanksgiving dinner, it also helps to regulate appetite, sleep, and improve mood. Improve your heart health. According to the Cleveland Clinic, chia seeds have been shown to improve blood pressure in diabetics and may also increase healthy cholesterol while lowering total LDL and triglyceride cholesterol. All good news for your heart. This information is adapted from the original found online, and there's the link here in the PDF. Chia seeds also help to pull and remove toxins from the colon. When eaten regularly, chia seeds produce some very easy to evacuate bowel movements, which require very little cleanup afterwards. So I know it's probably too much information for some of you out there, but it's an important part of being healthy. Now, chia seeds don't give you loose bowels, that you won't get diarrhea or anything like that from them. You will have, oops, I got to sneeze. Excuse me. Sorry.
Sure.
So you will have normal bowel movements, but you'll be aware that you need a bowel movement. You'll sit down on the toilet and it'll be all over before you realize it's even happened. Super easy to evacuate. And then when you go to do the cleanup, you're going to find there's very little to clean up. It's just amazing. So anyone who's bothered by constipation or any kind of digestive issues, I think they'll find chia seeds very, very soothing. And the most and where I get my chia seeds is actually from Costco. And I just get a big bag and it lasts almost forever. So another important part of detoxification is to maintain adequate gut flora. Gut flora is a complex combination of microorganism species that live in the digestive tracts of animals. It gleans energy from the fermentation of undigested carbohydrates and absorption of short-chain fatty acids. Intestinal bacteria also play a role in synthesizing vitamin B and vitamin K, as well as metabolizing bile acids, sterols, drugs such as antibiotics, and pollutants. So again, it's an important part of detoxifying. According to Wikipedia, the human body carries about 100 trillion microorganisms in its intestines, a number 10 times greater than the total number of human cells in the human body. Between 300 and 1,000 different species live in the gut. However, about 99% of the bacteria come from about 30 or 40 species. Fungi, protozoa, and archaea also make up part of the gut flora. So we talked last time about how using those hand sanitizers with isopropyl alcohol destroy your gut biome, which is your intestinal flora, which is absolutely essential for you to maintain health. Research suggests that the relationship between gut flora and healthy humans is a symbiotic relationship. We can't live without them and they can't live without us. So we don't want to be destroying them, even though we might consider them to be, undesirable creatures living in our bodies. Gut bacteria aids in digestion, stimulating cell growth, repressing the growth of harmful microorganisms, training the immune system to respond only to pathogens, and defending against some diseases. And gut flora helps prevent flatulence. Gut flora helps the body to absorb essential dietary minerals such as calcium, magnesium, and iron. Gases and organic acids such as lactic acid are also produced by fermentation. Acetic acid is used by muscle. Propionic acid helps the liver produce ATP. And butyric acid provides energy to gut cells and may prevent cancer. Beneficial flora increase the gut's absorption of water, reduces counts of damaging bacteria, increase growth of human gut cells, and stimulate growth of indigenous bacteria. It even prevents species that would harm the host from colonizing the gut through an activity termed as the barrier effect. Harmful yeasts and bacterial species are unable to grow excessively due to competition from helpful gut flora species adhering to the mucosal lining of the intestine. Thus, people without gut flora are infected very easily. The process of fermentation, since it produces lactic acid and different fatty acids, also serves to lower the pH in the colon, preventing the proliferation of harmful species of bacteria and facilitating that of helpful species. The pH may also enhance the excretion of carcinogens. Gut flora have a continuous and dynamic effect on the host's gut and systemic immune systems. To maintain gut flora, you may wish to take a product like New Roots Acidophilus Ultra. Probiotics play a major role in building the immune system. They keep your intestines clean, combat candida yeast infections, regulate constipation or diarrhea, and increase the bioavailability of essential nutrients to form superior quality blood and overall health. You may wish to take probiotics. They are especially essential essential after antibiotic treatment, as they replenish the immune regulating intestinal flora destroyed by them. So anytime you take antibiotics, it kills off your gut biome, which again is ironic because maybe you need it to get over a certain bacterial infection, but then it destroys the gut flora that prevents you from getting bacterial infections. So it's really important to replenish them. So, and if you can't afford to buy probiotics, like I've suggested, you may also wish to eat live raw sauerkraut and other fermented foods. It is loaded with beneficial bacteria and probiotics to help replenish your gut flora. It provides many important enzymes needed for complete digestion. So it's not enough just to eat the food. You have to digest it. You need to break it down. You need to have the enzymes in your system to break it down, and then you need to be able to absorb it into the system. Otherwise, it's just going down the toilet. So you can buy live sauerkraut at most food markets, but it's really easy to make your own. So you can just go on YouTube, how to make your own fermented foods, how to make your own sauerkraut, super easy, inexpensive, and just really works well. Before we wrap up, do you guys have anything you want to add? Questions, comments?
She just mentioned too as well. I'm not financially able to do it right now, but I had started making my own fermented ginger ale, like non-alcoholic.
Right.
It because I've given up pop because the amount of it and what it's done to my teeth and my stomach and my gut, I just had to. So I started actually brewing my own non-alcoholic ginger ale, and it did wonders for my gut health. There's several recipes online. I substituted the white sugar for honey, and that made it even more healthy. But yeah, if you guys can even make your own soda pop, whatever you want to say, it's not as hard as you think.
Yeah, there's a lot of fermented drinks. They're become really, really popular, but you can actually make your own. And I'm trying to think of the one where you have, it's like a fungus that you grow, and then you just put that in and it ferments it too. So basically when you ferment, the bacteria, the good bacteria, eats up all the carbohydrate. So it eats up all the sweetener, well, most of it, and produces bubbles. And that's what gives you that nice soda-like experience.
Yeah.
Thank you, Don.
Yeah.
So conclusion to part 2, now that you know how to stop poisoning yourself internally and you have all the information you need to detoxify your inner self, it's time to move on to Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0, Advanced Training for Healers and Alternative Health Practitioners. Now, before you go into step 6, part 3, I highly recommend everybody go and watch the video tutorial, because it's a lot of information and hearing it twice is very beneficial for retention. And here's the direct link to the step 6 content on my website. This concludes the Quantum Health Transformation version 3.0, Advanced Training for Healers and Alternative Health Practitioners. Step 6, yellow, total detoxification. Part 2, internal detoxification. Please feel free to contact me for more information and for assistance with your self-care program. I'm grateful for all the forces that assist me with the production of this free 9-step online course. And like I mentioned, after you watch the video tutorial, then it's time to go on to the next step, which we'll cover next week. Step 6 yellow, total detoxification. Part 3, emotional detoxification. And for those of you who'd like to contact me, my name is Karen Holton. I'm a holistic wellness coach and a talk show host. And you can find me on my website at www.karenholtonhealthcoach.com. That's KARENHOLTON healthcoach.com. And I'm available also, all my videos are on YouTube and other social media platforms at Karen Holton TV. And for those of you who wish to send me an email, I'm available at quantumhealthnow@gmail.com. And that's about it. I have another page here with all the links to all my free resources, tons of videos, information. You can even access my different appearances. I've been a guest on Don's show now twice. He's got the round table show. He's going to tell you about that in a few minutes. And here's also all the links to my YouTube, Rumble, and Odyssey. Please do stop in, subscribe, follow, check out my podcast, share them with your friends. I would really, really appreciate it. These sweeteners or refined processed food and see how you feel. And if you're climbing the walls, you know you're an addict. And there's no shame in that. No shame. It's not our fault. We have been addicted by a food industry. Just basically the same people that own the pharmaceutical industry and the medical industry own the food industry. You know what I'm saying? How it all works together.
And they so covertly slip it in. I'm just trying to remember, going back to reading the labels. I think it's, if you look at the products that are being touted as low fat.
Yeah, they're higher in sugars.
It's low fat. Yeah, look at the sugar content with that though.
Yeah,
absolutely. I don't use any diet products. When I was using diet products, going to Weight Watchers, exercising like crazy, all I did was gain weight because it wasn't good for me. So the other thing too is that think about processed foods. Think about being an alcoholic. If you knew someone who was an alcoholic and they were struggling with it and they were trying to get off alcohol, would you tell them to come over? Oh, just have one beer. One beer won't hurt you. Have one glass of wine. One glass of wine won't hurt you. Or would you just support them in total abstinence? So there are two different kinds of people. There are moderators and abstainers. And a moderator can eat one cookie and leave the rest. Maybe have a tiny piece of chocolate on a special occasion or a small treat and just leave it. I'm not a moderator. I'm an abstainer. It's all or nothing for me. So I had to either completely stay away from it, just as if I was dealing with my alcohol addiction. The same as if you knew someone and they were a heroin addict and you saw that it was destroying their life and their health. Would you tell them to come over and just do a little bit of heroin with you? Probably not. They need to abstain completely because that part of the brain has been triggered over and over and over again. And it takes months, if not years, to settle that back down. And so I can't do any kind of sweetener or artificial sweetener at all. None, zero. Because otherwise I'm right back with a monkey on my back and I'm doing it all over again. And the same with some milk products. You know, I don't do well with dairy. And I'm not trying to freak everybody out. You don't have to quit everything. I'm just saying how it was for me. But as soon as I try a little bit, there's nothing wrong with a little bit, but then it starts the cravings all over again. I have to go through 2 weeks of withdrawal. And eventually I got to the point where I went, is this worth it? Is it worth it? And I went, no. And then I created a bit of an internal parent that would say to myself, no, I know you want to have, that treat, but you're not going to have it. And I also don't keep any in the house. So if I want to have a treat, I'd have to go out at night, get dressed, go out, go to the store and get it. Well, forget it. I'm not going to do that. If it was in the cupboard, I would probably go for it. So I know me. So I'm not trying to tell people you're bad, you're not. But we're all addicted to stuff. Don.
Further to what you were saying, and this could be an entire episode in itself on a different show. You were saying about how they're all interconnected, like the ones that own the food industry, own the pharmaceutical industry. Like if you whoever watches this can do a quick Google search and find out, like, there are, I think it's either 3 or 5 major companies that own everything,
Everything,
right?
yeah.
Ones that are puppeteering us. We're not going to get onto this rant, but by all means, if you're watching this, go on Google and find out who owns all of the major food and pharmaceutical companies, and you're going to be sick.
Yep, absolutely, absolutely. So the other thing is, a lot of people invest in the stock market, and that's the way they make some money for themselves. Well, all these companies have to create a profit for the people who own the stocks, the stockholders, or people won't invest in their companies. Well, how do they do that? They do that by addicting other people to those products. And it reminds me of a metaphorical zombie apocalypse, where they're not directly eating the brains of other people, but in a way, think about it, they're getting their profits from the stock market. And I ask people all the time, how do you know your stocks are ethical? How do you know you're investing in companies that aren't hurting people or aren't, into war and all that? And most people go, gee, I never thought of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you're consuming other people to make your money on the stock market, you may want to think about that. I'm not saying you're bad or anything. I'm just saying, there is a war on humankind. And that's part of what the awakening process is about, is realizing that. So yeah, I don't want to get too much into that either. We could go on all day. We could do a whole show about that. I'm going to send you some links, Don, to those 2 documentaries. Same guy. It's called The God Eaters, and it's really eye-opening, yeah. So I guess that's it for today. I want to thank you so much for joining me again. Always a pleasure. Really appreciate it. And is there any final words? Oh yeah, tell everybody about your shows, where they can reach you, what you got cooking.
So right now I have the Roundtable Show, which is a weekly podcast review show. Right now I'm pretty much just covering the typical skeptic on that. I just had Brian Sang from the Full Disclosure Now movement on yesterday, and that was a 2-hour mind-blowing episode. It'll be on Monday or Tuesday. And by all means, check his stuff out as well. And then there's the weekly Mad Chatter show with DJ Maya on wvew.org. And right now I'm hosting all of Canadian Spinja's content as well, but I think she's still in the process of getting her own channel up.
Yeah, I'm on Instagram now as Canadian Spinja, so it's fully public. So if anybody wants to reach out, that's the best way to get a hold of me. Just messenger on Instagram. And I'm still debating doing the YouTube Rumble plunge. I saw that YouTube wanted my phone number, which I know everybody has to do that if they want a YouTube channel. So I'm still wrestling with that. But
yeah,
that's where I'm at. But I've got some content. I've got big plans. Right now things are kind of stale because I've been doing a lot of work, but once I get the garden going and all that, and then I've got some, I'm thinking, like I'll throw in some knitting and crocheting tips as well to all of it, just to create your own thing and bring back the old fashioned lifestyle.
Yeah.
Great. So all of that is on March 4th Productions right now on YouTube and Rumble. And actually, we've been in discussion, and it's coming up very soon. You're actually going to be able to purchase some of the stuff that you see her in pretty much every episode of anything she's on creating. I'm going to be doing 60-second vignettes, shorts, and selling her product. And you can purchase them and get them there.
Nice. Let me know for sure. That's awesome. That's awesome. So all the links are in the description below. And again, do you want to just say March 4th Productions, but it's March and then the letter 4 with the TH?
Yes. It's the number 4. Yeah. And that's on both YouTube and Rumble. And beyond that, if you can get my email from Facebook or whatever and get a hold of me, because as long as you're not completely nuts, I'll add you on Facebook.
Great. Okay, well, thank you very much, and Ray, for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Thank you to all the listeners and the viewers. I really appreciate you very much. I hope you have a great week. Spring is here. Yahoo! And I just wish you all the very best. Much love and best wishes. And we'll see you next time for more Quantum Health Transformation. Bye-bye, everybody.
Lion only makes you hurt. Denying only makes it worse. Love and surrender seem the fastest way to bring an end to bitter, painful days. Somewhere down the stars are falling like jewels upon a thin black veil, and you will thrill to hear your calling. 5 seconds seems like 5 billion years, 10,000 galaxies away, yet still so near.